Behind it was a dark glint, a satisfaction that gave me chills. But I didn't show it. I looked at her with the same smile that grandmothers use when they already know everything and are just waiting for the right moment to speak. The days before the dinner were dedicated to planning. I discreetly contacted Attorney Lawson. I asked him to come to the house that night with the documents I had found in the bank and a copy of the original will. I also asked him for something else, to bring a handwriting expert. I didn't explain why. I just told him, "Trust me, attorney. What you are about to witness, you won't forget." And he, without fully understanding, agreed. The evening of the dinner, I set the table with ritualistic precision. The white china, the silver cutlery, the glasses Elijah used only on special occasions. Every detail had a purpose, every gesture a hidden meaning. When the clock struck 8, I heard the doorbell. Vanessa entered arm in arm with Marcus, dressed in an elegant black gown. She looked like a novel's grieving widow. "What a warm home you have, Celeste," she said as she took off her coat. "Thank you, dear," I replied sweetly. "I'm glad to see you in good spirits." We sat down to dinner. The atmosphere, though cordial, was charged with tension. Marcus tried to keep the conversation light, but Vanessa constantly interrupted him with calculated phrases, with innuendos disguised as affection. I watched her in silence, noting how her eyes darted toward the drawers, toward the corners, looking for something. While pouring the wine, I felt it was time. "Marcus, before we continue," I said calmly, "I want to tell you something." He looked at me, worried. "What is it, Mom?" "I just want to thank you for being such a noble son. Not all men have the strength to face what you are about to discover." Vanessa put her glass down on the table. "What does that mean?" she asked with a tone that mixed alarm and defiance. I stared at her without blinking. "It means the truth always comes to light, even if you bury it with a dead man." Marcus tensed. "Mom, what are you talking about?" "About your father, son, and what he hid before he died." Vanessa abruptly stood up. "This is absurd," she said. "Don't start with stories now, Celeste." "Stories?" I replied with a smile, "or truths you'd prefer not to hear." The silence was absolute. Then calmly, I took the folder from the bank out of a drawer and placed it on the table. "You recognize this key, don't you?" I asked. She paled. "I don't know what you're talking about." "It was the key you put in the casket, the same one that opened this box." Marcus looked at me, bewildered. "What key, Vanessa?" She didn't answer. "In that box," I continued, "I found a will. One where your father leaves everything to a woman named Serena Harper." Marcus froze. "Who is that woman?" "Your wife could answer that better than I said, looking directly at Vanessa. Vanessa clenched her fists. "What are you suggesting?" "Nothing you don't already know," I whispered. She stepped back, and then I knew I had hit the exact wound. "No, daughter," I said, "this is the truth." "What truth?" "My mother died years ago. She has nothing to do with you." "Oh, really?" I opened the envelope and took out the photo. "Then explain this." The photo fell onto the table. Marcus picked it up with trembling hands. "What is this?" "Your father and Serena, and the girl you see there." My voice broke. "That is Vanessa." He looked at his wife, pale, speechless. "Is that true?" he asked her. Vanessa, cornered, let the mask drop. Her voice changed. "Yes, it's true," she said coldly. "And I don't regret anything." Marcus stood up, incredulous. You lied to me. Your father ruined my mother's life. I only returned the favor. Her confession fell like thunder. I watched her collapse in silence. Inside, a part of me wept, but another, older and stronger, smiled because finally the poison had come to the surface. The night after the dinner was the longest of my life. The silence in the house weighed down as if the walls had absorbed all the screams, all the tears, all the secrets revealed. Marcus had left without a word. Vanessa, after her confession, stormed out, leaving behind a bitter scent, a mix of perfume and revenge. I stayed alone, looking at the empty table. The photo was still there next to the half-empty glasses. The portrait of my husband with Serena and that child mingled with the reflection of the spilled red wine as if the past were bleeding onto the present. I knew I couldn't sleep. Not yet. I had to understand. I had to know why Elijah had allowed all this. I went up to his study. That place had always been his refuge. Perfectly aligned books, his polished desk, the lingering scent of ink and wood. I opened the drawers, looking for something more than answers, and there it was, the black notebook, the same journal I had seen so many times without daring to read. Now there was nothing left to lose. I sat in his chair and opened it. On the first page, his firm handwriting read, "If you are reading this, Celeste, it is because I am gone. Forgive me for what I hid, but there are truths that can destroy before they save. The story you think you know is neither mine nor yours." I felt a knot in my stomach. I turned the pages with trembling hands, and there it was, the name that haunted me. Serena Harper. I met Serena in 1979. It wasn't love, it was guilt. She worked cleaning my office. One night, after a party, I made the worst mistake of my life. I left her alone, and something happened to her. I didn't know what until years later. I brought a hand to my mouth. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I continued. When I learned she had a daughter, I wanted to take responsibility, but Serena never accepted my help. She told me she would rather die than let me into her life. I insisted. I sent her money in secret, but she disappeared. Years later, I found out she had died. But something about that story never sat right with me. I turned the page. Someone told me Serena didn't die, that she changed her identity, and that the girl was raised by others, that the Harper surname was an invention, that everything was planned to get close to me, not to flee from me. My heart was beating so fast I could barely read. Then I reached the last entry. If Vanessa ever appears, don't hate her, but don't trust her, either. Behind her is someone else, someone who knows my mistakes better than I do myself. If anything happens to me, look for the man with the black ring. He will know the truth. I snapped the journal shut. The air became dense. The man with the black ring. That phrase repeated in my head over and over. Who was he? And why was Elijah so afraid of his appearance? I spent the next few hours looking through old photos, documents, and invoices, and then I saw it. In a photograph from a bank event, Elijah posed with several partners. To the right, a man with a mustache and a dark ring on his right hand. His gaze gave me chills. On the back of the photo, in Elijah's handwriting, was a name, Harold Linton. I remembered Elijah mentioning him from time to time, but always evasively. He said he had been his friend, his partner in some deals, but I never saw him at home. And now, 30 years later, his name returned like a ghost. The next morning, I called Attorney Lawson. Attorney, does the name Harold Linton ring a bell? He was silent for a few seconds. Yes, he was a partner of your husband's many years ago. Is he still alive? As far as I know, yes, but he hesitated. You shouldn't approach him, Ms. Becker. Why do you say that? That man is not trustworthy. After Elijah broke off relations with him, there were rumors, shady dealings, extortion, even threats. My skin prickled. Where does he live? I asked. On the outskirts, near the old warehouse where Elijah stored his things. But please, don't go alone. I hung up without answering. I knew I would go anyway. That afternoon, I took the bus to the industrial district. The warehouse was still there, old, rusty, overgrown with weeds. The wind carried dust and papers. I knocked on the door, my heart pounding like a drum. No one answered. I knocked again. Harold Linton. I called out. The door slowly opened, and there he stood, an older man with white hair and a shiny black ring on his hand. His gaze was hard, but not surprised. So, you finally came, he said in a raspy voice. Elijah knew you would one day. I froze. Who are you? I asked. The one who knows why your husband died. The floor seemed to move beneath my feet. He died. I stammered. Elijah had a heart attack. The man let out a bitter laugh. Heart attack? No, Mrs. Tucker, what are you saying? I'm saying your husband was poisoned. My breath hitched. By whom? By the same person you think loved him. Vanessa? I asked. He shook his head. No, by someone who used her. Who? A woman named Serena. I felt a punch in the chest. That can't be. Serena is dead, right? His smile was chilling. Are you so sure? My world came crashing down. The air filled with echoes, with voices from the past, with the image of that photograph. Serena, the woman I thought was dead, was alive. And if she was, what role did she play in all this? I returned home trembling. I turned on all the lights, even though it was the middle of the day. I couldn't stop thinking about that man's gaze, his black ring, the words he had said. Your husband was poisoned. And then I remembered something. One night before he died, Elijah had complained about a bitter taste in the tea that Vanessa prepared for him. She was caring for him those days because I was sick. And he had said between coughs, it doesn't taste the same, but it doesn't matter. It's made with love. I closed my eyes and brought my hands to my mouth. The truth was revealed before me, monstrous, impossible to deny. Elijah had been poisoned, and I, unknowingly, had lived under the same roof as his killer. But if Harold was right, Vanessa didn't act alone. Someone else was pulling her strings from the shadows. Serena, alive, still waiting for one last revenge. My heart was beating so hard, I thought it would break my chest. And in that moment, I knew what was coming wasn't the end. It was the real beginning. There are silences that scream. That night, mine was deafening. I walked through the house with the journal in my hand, reviewing every word, every trembling stroke of Elijah's handwriting. If anything happens to me, look for the man with the black ring. I had already done it, and what Harold Linton had told me kept repeating in my head. Your husband was poisoned, not by her, but by someone who used her. What if everything I thought I knew was just the surface? What if Vanessa had also been a pawn in a bigger game? I sat in the darkness in front of the wedding portrait that still hung in the living room. Elijah smiled, holding my hand. I looked at him with faith, with the faith that only women who believe in eternity have. Now I knew that eternity doesn't exist. Only the truths that no one wanted to see remain. The next morning, I received a call. It was Harold. His voice sounded grave, urgent. "I found her," he said bluntly. "Serena? What are you saying?" "She's alive, and she wants to see you." The ground seemed to open beneath my feet. "Where?" "At the old Bayview Hotel tonight, but I warn you, don't go alone. Don't trust anyone." He hung up before I could answer. The silence that followed was a knife. As evening fell, I asked Marcus to come over. He had to know everything. I showed him the journal, the will, the photo, and told him what Harold had said. He listened without interrupting, pale, incredulous. "Mom," he whispered at the end, "are you sure they aren't manipulating you?" "I am," I replied firmly. "But I won't stand by and do nothing." I saw the fear in his eyes. "Let me come with you." "No, son. If what I fear is true, I want you to stay away." I stroked his face. "Promise me that no matter what happens, you won't see Vanessa again." He nodded, though there was pain in his eyes. I knew that promise would break his heart. I arrived at the hotel at 9 o'clock at night. The place seemed frozen in time. Damp walls, flickering lights, a smell of confinement and dust. The receptionist, an elderly man, pointed me to room 204. My footsteps echoed down the empty hallway. Every creak of the floor was a warning, every shadow a threat. I knocked on the door. A voice from inside said, "Come in, Celeste. I was expecting you." I entered. The room was dimly lit by an old lamp. By the window, a woman sat with her back to me. She had white, straight hair and a dark shawl over her shoulders. When she turned, I felt a shiver. It was Serena, older, more fragile, but alive. Her eyes held the same sparkle as in the photograph. "So, it's you," I said, barely breathing. "Yes." Her voice was soft, but firm. "And you are the wife." "The widow," I corrected. We looked at each other in silence. For a moment, only the weight of the decades that separated us existed, and the shadow of a dead man between the two of us. "Your husband was a coward," she said bluntly. "And you're a shadow that never left," I replied. She smiled sadly. "Don't blame me, Celeste. He destroyed my life, and my son's life, too. And yours? What did you gain from all this?" "Justice," she whispered. "You call poisoning a man and using your own daughter to do it justice?" Serena lowered her gaze. "It wasn't me." "What?" "It wasn't me who killed him." Her confession paralyzed me. "Then who?" The door burst open. Vanessa entered, her eyes full of tears and a pistol in her hand. "Me," she screamed. "It was me, Mom." The echo of her voice filled the room. Serena stood up, trembling. "Vanessa, no." "Yes," she sobbed. "You made me do it. You made me hate him. You made me believe he ruined your life, but you were the one who destroyed him first." Serena tried to approach. "Daughter, don't you understand? Elijah threatened to take you away from me. I did it out of fear." "Lies," Vanessa screamed. "You always lie." The trembling of her hands was dangerous. "Put the gun down," I said, taking a step forward. "Don't come near me," she yelled. "You're not innocent, either." You lived his lie. For an instant, I thought she would shoot, but instead, her body collapsed. She fell to her knees, crying, screaming her mother's name. Serena ran to her, hugging her. I stood watching that broken scene, mother and daughter in tears and guilt. Everything that hatred had built was crumbling before me. Minutes later, the police arrived. Someone had called, maybe Harold. They took Vanessa away without resistance. Serena looked at me before they handcuffed her, too. Don't hate her, Celeste. It's my fault. It's all three of us, I told her. Because sin is committed not only by the one who wounds, but also by the one who keeps quiet. On the way back home, the dawn found me on the porch. The cool wind hit my face. For the first time in months, I breathed without fear. I had lost a husband, a daughter-in-law, almost a son, but I had gained something more valuable, the truth. And the truth, even if it hurts, sets you free. I took Elijah's journal one last time. On the last page, I wrote, sometimes justice comes not with screams, but with silence. And forgiveness is not for the one who asks for it, but for the one who no longer wants to carry the weight of hatred. I closed the notebook. The sun began to rise, painting the walls of the house gold, and I felt that finally, after so much pain, I could rest. 6 months have passed since that night at the hotel. Sometimes I still wake up to the sound of Vanessa's scream in my ears. Sometimes I think I hear the shot that never went off because I contained it with my voice, with my presence, with the only thing I could still offer, my compassion. Since then, time has taken its course, but my life changed forever. The garden has bloomed again, though not the same. The wind smells different, and every corner of the house holds an echo of what was. There isn't a day that I don't look at Elijah's portrait and wonder if, in some corner of the afterlife, he watches me, repentant. I have learned that truth does not arrive when we look for it, but when we are prepared to bear it. And I, unknowingly, had spent my whole life preparing for that moment. Vanessa was sentenced to 20 years in prison, not for the murder. The forensic report never definitively proved the poisoning was fatal, but for fraud, identity theft, and document manipulation. Serena, her mother, was also charged, although due to her advanced age and health condition, she is under house arrest. Marcus, my son, was never the same. The day the police took his wife away, he fell to his knees in front of me. I don't understand, Mom, he said, his voice broken. Why? Why all of this? I hugged him, and I didn't know what to answer, because deep down, I don't fully understand it, either. Hatred is a silent inheritance. It is transmitted without words, like a shadow passing from one generation to another. And sometimes, when you don't stop it in time, it ends up devouring everything it touches. Marcus decided to leave the city. He calls me once a week, but his voice sounds distant, tired. I don't blame him. His soul is broken, and every word of mine reminds him of the pain he tried to bury. I also thought about leaving, to abandon this house, this neighborhood, this country, if necessary. But then I understood that fleeing is not healing. Healing is staying, facing the echo of the past, and learning to live with it. So, I stayed. I have dedicated my days to restoring the small things that used to give me peace, painting the walls, caring for my plants, writing. I have filled entire notebooks with my story, not for me, but for those who come after. I want any woman like me, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, who feels her life crumbling because of a betrayal, to be able to read my words and know that survival is possible. 2 weeks ago, I received a letter. It was from Attorney Lawson. Inside a yellowed envelope sealed with Elijah's handwriting, my heart leaped. It read, Celeste, if this letter reaches you, it is because the truth has come to light. Don't seek to forgive me, just to understand me. I never loved Serena as I loved you. It was a mistake, one I dragged my whole life. But when I found out I had a daughter, I wanted to help even if in secret. I never imagined that attempt at redemption would destroy us. If there is anything after death, I hope to see you there to tell you with my own lips what my cowardice prevented me from saying in life. I loved you, always. Elijah. I read that letter over and over until it was soaked with tears. I didn't forgive him in that instant, but I understood something that freed me. Love doesn't always save, but forgiveness does. Forgiving him wasn't justifying him. It was letting go of the weight that was sinking me. Sometimes, when evening falls, I go up to the porch with a blanket over my shoulders and look at the horizon. The sky takes on that orange and violet color that Elijah loved so much, and although I know he is gone, sometimes I talk to him anyway in a low voice. I tell him about the garden, about the rose bushes that bloomed again, about the birds nesting in the old lemon tree. I tell him that I miss him, but that I no longer need him to breathe. The first time I could say that without feeling guilt, I knew I had finally healed. I also think of Vanessa, of her eyes full of rage the last day I saw her. I don't hate her. I know her story was written by others before she could choose. She was a child of abandonment, of resentment, of silence, and those are cruel parents. I sent a letter to the prison, not to reproach her, but to tell her that hatred is inherited, but it can also be broken. I wrote to her, "You were raised in the shadow, Vanessa, but you can still learn to see the light. Not mine, nor your mother's, but your own. When you find it, you will understand that you were not born to destroy, but to heal what the past stole from you." I don't know if she read it. I don't know if she will ever answer me, but I needed to write it because there are wounds that only words can heal. Recently, the lawyer visited me again. He brought another safety deposit box in Elijah's name. I didn't know whether to open it. I was afraid to start the cycle of pain all over again, but I did it. Inside were three things: a photo of the three of them, Elijah, Serena, and Vanessa as a child, a small silver cross, and a note that read, "If you read this, it is because everything has come to light. Thank you for taking care of everyone, even those who didn't deserve it. Forgive my silence. Now, you can live without me." I didn't cry for the first time. I just smiled with a strange new peace. It was as if Elijah's soul had finally let go of my hand. That night, I slept profoundly. I dreamed of him, not on his deathbed, nor as the man who lied to me, but as the young man who took me dancing in the rain the day he proposed. In the dream, he looked at me and said, "That's it, Celeste. Everything has been paid for." I woke up with tears, but also with relief. The price of the truth had been high. I lost my husband, my son, my daughter-in-law, but I gained something I thought was impossible for decades: my freedom. The freedom to be me without fear, without appearances, without lies. The freedom to look back without bitterness and forward without expectation. The freedom just to live. I am Celeste Decker, and this was my story.